capital of the world. This is live coverage of the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta and the 66th Gordon Bennett Coupe Aeronautique. It's Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil. And now, direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here are your hosts, Glenn Moyer and Art Lloyd Schumann.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Coca-Cola Day at the 51st Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, powered by ExxonMobil. You're looking live at Balloon Fiesta Live. If you're online, if you're on the field, good morning and welcome. I'm Glenn Moyer, alongside, as always, my good partner, Art. I was going to say Art Williams. He was a friend from high school. Sorry.
Hey.
There's some guy sitting here next to me. I don't know who he is. We let people come
I'm
up
going to have to open up my jacket so you can see what the name is.
Again?
I put it on this side just so you can see it.
Well, yeah, I don't see so well on my right eye. What can I tell you? Art Lloyd Jr. is beside me as always. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Glenn. We are here on the second day of competition, the fourth day of Balloon Fiesta. Yes. And I think we're going to have another great day of flying today.
I think so. All the indications are. We'll see as we get Dawn Patrol is, I think, inflating down there. I can see some round black shapes. So they'll give us, as always, a good early morning indication. But yeah, weather looks. Look at that silhouette. What do they call that moon?
A crescent.
A crescent.
The crescent moon and the planet there.
And the planet, yeah.
Keeps getting closer and closer to the sun. Because, of course, on Saturday they're going to collide.
Yes.
Well,
and
it'll look that way.
The world will explode, and that's the end of humanity, and on and on.
And it goes from. Let's go on.
Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. But
no,
yeah, Saturday we have the eclipse, the annular eclipse.
Yeah, and it starts just about the time we get done flying on Saturday morning, and then it gets to its totality of annularity.
Yes.
Because it's not a total eclipse; it's a total annular eclipse.
Well, that's an interesting question.
So how do you phrase that?
I have no idea.
Actually, you know what I think NASA says it gets to its annularity maximum versus totality.
Well, that probably is right, because there is a term in the space world called max Q,
right,
which is when the aircraft reaches, when the rocket that's going up reaches I think it's max G's that it takes.
Probably.
But there used to be, when we did the Steve Lombardi's lunar liftoff event down at the Johnson Space Center for a number of years, there was actually a band of astronauts or musicians, and the band's name was Max Q.
Oh, okay.
And so I know that's a space term. So there'll be NASA people here this week. Maybe we can find one and ask.
We can find one of those out. Anyway, it hits its maximum about 10:30, 10:35, I think, is the time. But then it actually continues, obviously, as it has to move out until about 11 or 12.
Begins to, initially the sun disappears, and then of course it begins to reappear.
You know what I didn't realize? At least I always think of an eclipse as one object moving left to right or right to left across.
In front of another.
Right. But this one is actually a vertical one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you kind of think about that, the moon is kind of there and the sun will be rising behind it. And so it's going to be a vertical one.
Okay.
And again, I think part of the idea of this horizontal layout is that's how we always depict it in graphics and everything else.
Exactly.
But this one will be a vertical one.
Well, and because it's an annular eclipse, there will not be a total darkness. We'll end up with a ring of fire, which will be, of course, the sun behind the moon, as opposed to what I consider an eclipse is when one body completely obliterates the view of the other, and it goes completely, which brings up an interesting question we've talked about as Dawn Patrol is getting inflated. We've talked about the night lights, the navigation lights they have to fly in the darkness.
Yes.
If you fly through an eclipse, look at that great shot from our
there's the moon we're talking about. Yeah.
If you fly during a total eclipse, do you have to have navigation lights?
I would guess no, because it doesn't talk about having lights in the darkness. It talks about having them between the hours of sunset and sunset and sunrise. So that's what it talks about. In fact, it even says, so many minutes before and all that kind of stuff. So it's all based on sunrise and sunset times.
So technically, the sun is already up in the eclipse.
Yes. So I think you could fly without lights. There may be something in the Federal Aviation Regulations, the FARs, that come under visual flight rules and about because you have to be able to see, but I can't remember anything in there about having lights during an eclipse.
Interesting question. I know we had an eclipse some years ago, and there were pilots in a few places around the country that did.
Yeah.
In fact, we did an article on one such flight in Balloon Magazine. We'll have to go back and pull that and see if that pilot was flying with lights or there's any mention of it. Just something that occurred to me because of the circumstances where we are here. Dawn Patrol will be flying with navigation lights, of course. They're required because they are flying green sunrise, and they are, I think, mostly, if not all, inflated and stood up now. Down along, where are they? Road P, I think, is about where they normally are.
I think they're on M, but yeah,
sorry,
that's close.
M.
That's close.
LM and OP. I was only a few off.
Yeah.
So they are sponsored, as always, by the Route 66 Casino Hotel. We appreciate that. And they always put on a great show. There were tons, social media was just saturated yesterday after they did the cluster launch.
Yes.
And they were all huddled together, flying in formation there. There are just pictures after pictures after pictures all over social media that were just stupendous. They were great photographs.
There's Chick-fil-A. Craig Kennedy flies that for us. We saw Tim Taylor's D3 red, white, blue balloon a moment ago. I see Michael Scott out there burning right at the moment.
Yeah.
You don't see him on the screen. Of course, Matthew Grote is our team leader out there, and I think the balloon he's flying is Jester's Unwind. He's got a couple there, and I don't have the exact pictures.
I think
That's Kurt Bramble's Eagle balloon.
Yeah, is Rick Jones out there again this year?
I don't remember. Let's check real
I
quick.
haven't seen the list. So.
It's there in your spotter.
I'm sure it is. I usually figure out the spotter app on Sunday afternoon when we're done. So.
Yeah, Rick Jones is out there.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Rick Jones flies
So today is, as we said, Coca-Cola Day, and the game plan here is for the Dawn Patrol guys to go ahead and fly. Pilot's briefing has started over at the pilot tower. We're going to check when they get to the weather portion of pilot's briefing to see what kind of weather we can expect. Feels like yesterday morning. Now, about 20 minutes ago, there was a little bit of strong drainage coming
There
through
was a bit of a breeze up here.
It's gone away.
Yes.
The conditions I'm looking at look like a lot like yesterday, and so we're not expecting any change for at least a few more days. And on the competition today will be competition as well as the fun flyers.
Right,
So
so
we have
same
the
thing.
same thing, half the
fly
balloons
away.
fly away right from here, just like a mass ascension. And in many ways, it still is a mass
Well,
ascension.
technically, it is a mass ascension. It's just a small one on Albuquerque standards.
Yeah, we just
For
don't
any
call-
other balloon event, it'd still be a whopper of a mass ascension.
Exactly. So that's why we don't really call it a mass ascension, although we've struggled with the terms.
Because we don't have the full mass of balloons like we do on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, so is it a double launch? Is it, what do we call it? So I just say, well, we just launch half the balloons and they fly away just like it, kind of almost a mini mass ascension.
Yeah, call it a half and half day or something.
Yeah, and then the other half of the pilots, about 300 of them, after pilot's briefing, will be leaving the field. We'll see this exodus of trucks, and
Right.
everybody starts to panic.
They go,
Oh my God, where are
what's
they
that? Where are
going?
they all going?
Yeah. So they're actually just going to go out and find a launch site that is at least a mile away.
Many were over in Corrales, in that area yesterday.
They were.
Fly in for the Sid Cutter Memorial Task and the other multiple judge declared gold task that we had.
You have to kind of get a little bit off of straight north because just north of the field is the Sandia Pueblo.
Sandia Pueblo.
And great partners that we have with Sandia, but they're also sensitive to their sacred lands.
Sure.
And so they request that we not take off from their property.
Right.
They will allow us to land there with some escorts and other things, but they ask that we not take off from there, and we respect that. So you have to kind of get off on an angle, and usually that is off to the northwest, and be able to work your way in from there.
And typically what will happen is that's where we'll fly a higher track. Then we'll greater altitude. Drop down, mix into surface flows to reach their way to the target.
And of course, yesterday we counted at least 5 or 6 distinct layers going in different directions yesterday
It was,
morning.
I think both of us used the term mixing bowl
Yep.
yesterday.
Yep.
It was really dramatic, especially once the sun came up to see all of the different patterns that were within literally just really the height of a balloon, not more than, less than 100 feet.
So it took a little skill to navigate coming in because you had to keep working the changing patterns there. In fact, I think we have time before we get into weather over there at Pilot's Briefing. Yesterday, of course, was the Sid Cutter Memorial task, where the primo spot, the perfect score, is the bow of a boat, a small boat that is out there.
Because that's Sid Cutter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we had, I can't say it's a record, but more markers thrown at that boat yesterday than I have ever seen in all my years of the competition.
I would agree with that. I've never seen that many scores on the boat yesterday.
And some fabulous ones. And so we captured it all on Balloon Fiesta Live yesterday. I went back and I pulled about a 3-minute segment from what was about 6 minutes of time to show you how that works. So let me play that highlight back for you from yesterday's competition.
There we go.
But now we're going to get back to Joe Zavada, because coming across the road, he's kind of defined that little change. And so he is now has a direct line right on the boat. Joe again is in the black, yellow, white, and silver stair-step racer.
Yep, we've got him on screen now.
So Joe Zavada, no pressure on Joe.
Coming right to the back of the boat.
Right over the, and threw it right up in the front.
Yeah. So
nice shot, Joe.
Nicely done, Joe. He went for the safe throw to get in the boat rather than try and hit the bow and maybe have it slide off.
Exactly. So hit the boat, get it in. It's not going to fall out of the boat. He's in. This appears to be Joe Hartzell in that Hartzell balloon, but Sean Rea in the Sol Air balloon is going to get here first.
Yep.
Not that timing matters, it's all distance. So look at this. Here's another one right on. And Sean's going to, looks like, oh, even up on the edge.
Put it on the dashboard
up on
of the boat.
Edge. Yep. And right behind him, Joe Hartzell. So now you get those things that in the boat is good, but it doesn't win. Now you've got to go for the bow.
Watch,
look at this.
Joe. Look at Joe.
This. Reach out and
my
set
goodness.
it on the bow.
Joe Hartzell.
Nice shot, Joe. Get out of his way.
Wow. Perfect. Absolutely. I mean, that can only be maybe 6 inches further out to the bow. That's perfect.
Yeah. And you noticed he brought it, he was so close that he literally could just set it out.
Yeah.
There wasn't going to be a slide.
No. He didn't have to throw or put any momentum into the baggie. He just literally almost reached out and set it there like he'd set it on a desk.
Almost set it, yeah. What a great pass from Joe.
So, Joe Zavada threw in the boat, and then right behind him, Sean Rea put his on the dashboard even closer to the front, and then Joe put it right on the bow. So Joe Zavada lost 3 places in a matter of seconds.
Exactly.
Wow.
That was just incredible. Yeah.
That was, what a day that was. And I was incorrect, Joe. Actually, Joe Zavada lost 2 places.
2 places.
Yeah.
First to third.
First to third, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is still good on that day. But then there were several others later who came along and also put their markers on the dash. I haven't seen the scores to see where Joe Zavada ended up.
Yeah.
But he did eventually lose a few more places because there was such a scoring bonanza going on the road yesterday. It was incredible. It's Coca-Cola Day. We kind of missed our top production staff, and the 2 of us really weren't thinking because we've got a cooler full of Coke Zero back there behind us.
We do.
We should have done some product placement
today.
For the show, and we would have each had a Coke Zero here sitting with us, which we'll both enjoy before the morning is out. But just thinking,
we will.
We weren't on the top of our game, but it's midweek, and that's when people start to get a little tired. So,
although I think I got up to maybe 6 hours of sleep last night, which is like almost double what I was getting at the first part of the week.
Yeah, I was watching Monday Night Football and began yawning near to halftime, and I think I actually crawled into bed about 8:30, which is something I otherwise never do.
Great. Our Dawn Patrol balloons are up, not quite the cluster of yesterday,
Not
but
quite.
not the stretch out 1-by-1 launch either.
This will be our first indication of, first indication of what the wind might be like this morning. Of course, things can't always change sometimes once the sun comes up. But as you can see, very light winds, nice flicker burn by the balloon team, by the Dawn Patrol team there. So nice light winds. There's a little bit of movement up there, more so than yesterday, I think, at a couple hundred feet up. That balloon that is the red, yellow, and blue spiral, just moving west to, or rather east to west there, and has a bit of speed. Nothing to be concerned about, but more movement than we saw yesterday. Yesterday, it was like, we talked about it was like 0 gusting to 0 on the wind meters. It was really, really still yesterday.
And of course, we always get asked the question about why are those balloons spinning like that? Well, that of course is on purpose. There are turning vents in many balloons, which is basically an opening on the side of the balloon that the pilot controls with a rope down in the basket.
Yep.
Opens the opening, the hot air comes out the side of the balloon, which then gives a push to rotate the balloon around. So the idea behind that is that if you have a corporate logo on the side, no matter what angle people are watching you from, they're able to see that. It also allows the pilot to be able to, not that he can't turn his head and rotate around himself in the basket, but he can kind of do a little 360 view for folks.
Right. I was looking at, as always, I'm looking at the chat room on our Facebook feed, and somebody surprised me. I looked down and I saw Norway. It's Patty Davis says, "Good morning from Norway, Maine." So caught me there. I thought we had a viewer up in the frozen tundra, as it were, of Norway, but just Norway, Maine, which is still in the frozen part of the country, I guess.
As we were talking a few minutes ago, pilot's briefing underway, and I understand that we're getting to the weather portion. So let's check in with our weather folks in pilot briefing.
Temperature's 46 degrees, dew point 32, relative humidity 57%. The winds are calm there as well. Visibility unrestricted at 10 miles, scattered clouds at 11,000 feet, and the density altitude is right around 6,400 feet. So what we've got going on, let me jump to this here. You can see that up in Santa Fe, they're much colder than what we are here in Albuquerque. Let's see. Yep, there we go. They're still much colder than the latest odds here at the top of the hour. And so that should lead to some drainage. And we've seen it kind of off and on fluctuating through the morning. In the near surface layer, we should have a southerly wind, but the drainage is fighting it. And so just like a battle of two forces, sometimes one side is stronger, sometimes one side is weaker. And so given that that's the case, we've had the drainage just about an hour ago as strong as about 10 miles an hour out of the north. And right now, it's losing the battle to the southerly winds, and that's why our Dawn Patrol pilots are all headed to the north. With that said, I think the temperature difference is enough here that we're going to see that drainage start to kick back in, and we'll have the bottom part of the box where we'll have flow from the north headed to the south in the near surface layer, but it's going to be not overly consistent. So you can see that detect winds here. The latest conditions, even just an hour ago, we had those winds out of the north. These had drainage. It's since lost the battle, and now we've got that southerly flow in the near surface layer. What's interesting about this morning, like I said, is the prevailing wind is going to be out of the south going to the north, but wherever that drainage is, you're going to get that bottom part of the box, right? So in the top part of the box is that southerly wind taking you back to the north. It's going to be more consistent than it was yesterday morning. So for competitors, I think you've got more opportunities for launch spots. Even if you wanted to go south, I think that southerly wind is going to be there if you choose to take that route in the, let's say, 500 to 1,500 foot range. Then thereafter, we have another transition zone. The transition zones are going to be where you find your little adjustment factors and everything like that. It's going to be somewhat inconsistent. And way up high towards the Blue PZ, if you're interested, there's going to be the more consistent wind out of the northwest, just like we saw yesterday morning. So we kind of have if the drainage is going to be consistent, if we get that drainage to kick back in, we'll have a sandwich. So we'll have the north wind on the bottom, northwest wind up high, and then you'll have the southerly wind taking you back to the north in the middle. So I would highly recommend using this as I think the overall thing is going to be that we're going to be light winds, and so it's going to be another great morning for us to fly. Okay, in the TAFs, they're forecasting very similar conditions to what I'm expecting. At Sunport, they're forecasting variable winds at 4 knots, visibility greater than 6 miles, and a scattered cloud deck of 12,000 feet. At 11 o'clock, they have that switching out to the west, 260 at 9 knots, and a scattered cloud of 12,000 feet. With those higher dew points, we have started to see a little bit of cloud cover starting to develop around the mountain, and I expect that scattered cloud cover to develop or to be there throughout the day today. In addition, at Double Eagle, variable wind of 4 knots is forecast through noon, visibility greater than 6 miles, scattered 12,000 feet. And at noon, they've got the wind going out of the west, 260 at 8 knots, visibility greater than 6 miles, scattered 10,000 feet. So, like I mentioned, it will be another great morning for flying. I think there's going to be a lot of different layers that you can steer, and that surface layer is a battle, right? So that's going to be a little inconsistent, but I think that southerly is going to be consistent in that, say, 500 to 700 feet all the way up to about 1,500 feet. And then that northwest, if you're wanting for the high flyers wanting to go up above about, let's say, 2,500 to 3,000 feet, those winds are going to be very consistent. So your most consistent is going to be out of the south and then out of the northwest once you get above 3,000 feet. With that said, I'm very fortunate to have Brock Boehm being our weather helper of the day. For those that know him, he's gone to camp the last few years. He is a student pilot and also the creator of the hotairballoondatabase.com. So thanks for all your efforts and what you've done for ballooning. Is there a launch director in the area to give him permission to launch?
So the balloon they're talking about, the launch director, is yet one more pie ball or weather ball that they'll let up so that the pilots can actually visually see all the numbers and put all that together with what Brad Tiemeyer was telling them all about. But just as we talked about, he talked about that strong drainage a little while ago.
You mentioned as soon as we came on air that because we were feeling it here at the rooftop.
Right. And then the idea, as you were talking about, the winds coming in from the northwest, so they're going to feel that as well as the south. So there's some level of box based on that wind forecast that Brad was just telling them all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see another sort of mixing bowl effect that we saw yesterday.
I think so.
Maybe not quite as dramatic as what we saw. Because it sounds like some of the flow might be a little stronger than it was yesterday.
Well, interesting, he was describing the drainage, which is the north to south flow, versus the wind flow,
which is the standard wind direction here would be south to north.
Exactly, and how they're kind of fighting each other.
Right.
So at one point you'll feel it, then you can feel it the other way. So it's going to be another fun day, and interesting to watch the different strategies our pilots go through.
Especially when we get to the competition in the latter part of the morning when things will really may either, one, have settled down to where there would be some fairly predictable weather wind patterns, or it will be a jumbled mess,
totally
variable, and it is just totally inconsistent. So it'll be interesting to see which plays out as we get later into the morning.
I did call up the results from yesterday's sit cutter task on the boat.
Awesome.
And so there were 11 markers on the boat.
My gosh.
11 markers on or in the boat. Because remember, if you were just offside the boat, you had 300 feet added to your score.
Because you splashed
in the water. You're in the water.
Right.
And so there were 11. It was Joe Hartzell, Josh Bacon, Lucas Hartzell, David Strassman, Jason Buckner, Sean Rea, Joe Zavada, J.J. Mancini, John Petrin, Mike Johnson, and Brian Hill all got to the boat
Wow.
and got their marker on or in the boat yesterday.
And not to rub salt into a wound, but my good friend Ken Drawn, probably the most disappointing flight of the morning, because we watched him work and work and work and work some more to get to the boat, and then his marker ended up just off of the stern in the water.
We can go all the way down to, where was it? Right there. There were 60 pilots that threw a marker on the boat task. Now that means hitting the land, hitting the islands, going in the water, or getting on the boat.
Right.
There were 60 pilots that managed to get their marker out and in a position to be measured.
Wow, that's an
yesterday.
incredible score.
Yeah, out of 300 that are flying competitions.
That's awesome.
It is. And unfortunately, yes, Ken's score was not totally exciting yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was just, Ken and I have been friends for years, and he used to kind of harangue me about, if I ever get close enough to the target, I want to hear you announce my name. And I said, well, if you get to the target, I will. And we talked about him several times yesterday. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in our sport. And I was just heartsick for him to see him working as hard as he did, and then just to come that close and miss what would have been an awesome score.
You remember that we talked also, while we covered the boat extensively yesterday, there were 2 X's out there.
Right, which was a secondary task that the pilots could throw to one or the other. They had to make a choice.
Of which X, right, yeah. But basically 2 tasks.
Right.
It's like you have to get 2 things done. 57 pilots managed to get a score on the X's yesterday.
Wow.
57. So, yeah, some really great stuff. Joe Zavada, who we talked about, who was the first in the boat, would have been in first place until everybody else got there.
Yeah. On any other day of the Sid Cutter Memorial, that would have been the winning drop.
It would have.
Yeah.
It would have. Joe did get the, it looks like he has a measurement of 0. So that must mean he was dead center on the X for that competition.
Good for Joe.
Yeah. So, yeah, just incredible throws all the way down the line. So Joe at least made a good pass through there. Of course, if you hit the boat, you were actually in a pretty good line for the X's as well.
Yeah.
So, you just had to remember to keep flying the balloon. You heard me on the video say, get out of his way. Yeah, because Joe was, literally I'm looking almost at the top of his basket at eye level.
Yeah.
And so he's coming in, he's flying really nice and level, but we got all these people down there, all these photographers and everything. And sometimes we get focused behind a lens or something like that, and we don't see what's happening, so the idea is to warn everybody else. We had a couple of markers that were coming down. One landed just about 6 feet in front of me.
Get hit in the head.
Yeah. But we got spotters out there, so that doesn't happen.
Well, I noticed too, if you watch the video, when Joe came across and made that drop, on any other given task, if that were the only day, a pilot would make that drop and then be jumping up and down and screaming and hollering. Joe was concentrated. You could see it in his eyes. He was looking at where that next target was.
Yep.
Because Joe's he's a 5-time national champion. You don't do things like that without having a little bit of skill. And he was, there was no celebration at all.
No.
He made that drop, and it was all business right on to the next target.
Yeah, past all the people between.
Exactly. Past our crew and all the other folks down there. Hey, we've got a bunch of people checking in. I mentioned I made the joke about Norway, Maine a few minutes ago, but as I'm checking in now, we've got folks all around the world. A lot of people probably tuning in for updates on the Gordon Bennett. I've got several who checked in from Germany, Madrid, Spain. Australia has checked in this morning. There's someone from Sweden. Let's see, where was it? There's all around the country, of course, somebody in from Mexico, another from Germany. So lots of folks around the world are tuning in. Alberta, Canada this morning. So it's great to know that we've got a tremendous international audience, as well as people from all across the United States who are tuning in to watch Balloon Fiesta Live, powered by ExxonMobil.
And over on the YouTube side of things, I have not been paying attention to the list either. So Spain and England, the Netherlands, all in here. Let's see, what else do we got? Somebody from the Albuquerque, okay, that's good. And Wisconsin is here, Michigan, Wichita, Kansas, and checking through. Somebody's talking about Kushari Gala. That's one of our special shape balloons, flown by Peter Procopio.
Oh, the Kashari balloon?
Yeah. Peter's actually flying as an additional pilot with his daughter-in-law this year.
Okay.
So, Peter, another one of those we've talked multiple times about the graying of the sport. Peter is our age, and so at some point you start to slow down, and the rigors of flying 9 days, and with the special shapes, they usually end up with the clothes as well. So, but Peter is here, so yeah.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. I mean, if we're on camera at the moment, both of us showing our age because we're both wearing our cheaters this morning in order to read all of these electronic screens that we're staring at.
They're readers. I don't call them cheaters.
They're readers? Okay.
They're readers, because when you have to read, they're...
I'll go with, I mean, I had cataract surgery on my eyes last summer, and I can see much, much better now, except, in fact, I was shocked at how bad my eyesight was until then, so I highly recommend that for people, especially in our age group. But I still have to have readers to sometimes read the fine print, and my phone, and it makes reading. I can read my iPad without them, but it makes things a little bit easier. Sugar Land, Texas, checking in.
Boise, Idaho.
Salina, Texas. Wichita, Kansas.
Deming, New Mexico.
Shawnee, Kansas. I saw somebody trying to scroll back to another international viewer. There was Hamburg, Germany. There's someone from Belgium. Sussex, Wisconsin.
Nova Scotia, Canada. Arizona. St. Louis, Missouri.
From the UK and the Cotswolds. Brunswick, Canada. Hamburg, Germany. How are you, Tom?
Yep. In just a couple of minutes, we'll be
Luzerne,
going...
Switzerland. Good morning.
Oh, great.
Switzerland.
In just a couple of minutes, we'll be going live over to the Balloon Museum and our colleagues at Gordon Bennett TV.
Reagan or Regan? I've got to ask it which way.
I think it's Regan.
Is it Regan?
Regan Tetlow. Yeah.
Okay.
And so we'll be getting the latest on the Gordon Bennett race and the activities that have taken place overnight with the gas race.
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Buenos Aires. All right. And one of the people who checked in from Germany, everybody in the States, of course, are saying good morning from so-and-so, good morning from so-and-so. Yeah. And the one from Germany said good afternoon from Hamburg, Germany. I mean, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah. You know, that's one thing technology has done. It has definitely brought the world so you now are much more aware of what's happening. At least I am, as well as time zones and those types of things. We've got an international photographer on our official photographer team this time. And as we started scheduling Zoom meetings and that kind of stuff to get everybody up to speed, it was like, normally I'd pick a time like, 6 o'clock in the evening, and that'd be great for everybody, except that becomes the middle of the night.
Middle of the night over there.
So you have to be careful about scheduling those times.
Well, it's interesting. You're right. It's the technology, and I will say ballooning. And if I'm allowed a quick story while we're before we pitch to the Gordon Bennett folks, I'll try to make the Reader's Digest version short. Anyway, I was working on my blog I used to do about Scotland. And I was doing a story about art and fashion. Right. And I was looking online and I found a picture of what the young lady in the parking was. I reached out to her and said, can I use your photograph for this blog that I'm writing? Right. She said, of course you can. Well, that began a discussion between the two of us, and it turns out she lived in Ukraine. And again, long story made short, we became really good friends online. When the war broke out in Ukraine, she reached out to me. She's married, has a young son, and she reached out to me, and they were trying to get out of the country right in the war. They lived in Odessa, and said, do you have any friends in either Germany or Spain that might be able to help us? And I said, I do. I have ballooning friends in both, and I reached out, and Willie Eimers and Benny Eimers, the son, and Benny's wife, they reached out, and they helped my friend from Ukraine get out of Ukraine, out of the war, come to Germany. They're now living in Germany, living a wonderful, peaceful life.
Oh, nice.
And in large part thanks to help from the Eimers family, who also have raised funds and donated to many Ukrainian balloonists. So those are people that I've met through technology and through ballooning that otherwise in a normal life, like me being a kid from Texas, I would never have known those people.
Exactly.
And the young lady from Ukraine, she and I have become very dear friends. I still hope one day to now, I hope at one point to get to Ukraine to meet her. Now I'm hoping at one point to get over to Germany to meet her. But it's amazing what technology can do and the friends that we can make around the world. I made a friend from China, one of our viewers, and he and I are now having a communication back and forth via on Facebook and Messenger. So,
well, I'm thinking, this is the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
It
but
is.
when I think about balloon festivals and rallies and those types of things, I think they all tend to have some level of internationality to it, where folks do come, balloonists do tend, and it is really an international community.
It absolutely is.
And speaking of that, it's time to check with our friends on Gordon Bennett TV. And let's just head up to the museum and Regan Tetlow.
Thank you very much, Art. Thank you very much, Glenn, over at Balloon Fiesta Live. It's Gordon Bennett TV. Very good morning to you. Before we continue, I would like to start with a short statement from our Director of Media Relations, Tom Garrity.
My name is Tom Garrity. I am the spokesperson for the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, speaking also on behalf of the Gordon Bennett Cup. I have a short statement with respect to Marines in Texas last night. Monday evening, a sport gas balloon participating in the 66th Gordon Bennett Cup, an international distance competition, was involved in an accident which included coming into contact with a power line near Crandall, Texas, which is located southeast of Dallas. The balloon Poland Team 1 was piloted by Krzysztof Zapart and Piotr Halas, both residents of Poland. Both pilots sustained injuries and were transported to Parkland Hospital in Dallas, Texas. Mr. Zapart, the lead pilot, sustained cuts and burns to his legs and arms. Mr. Halas is being treated for burns and broken bones to his legs and midsection. Both are experienced gas balloon pilots who have logged significant time in gas balloons. Our thoughts are with the gentlemen, their families, and friends for a full and complete recovery. Poland Team 1 was one of 17 gas balloons participating in the Gordon Bennett Cup. The team was the first to take flight when the launch window opened on Saturday evening at 8:30 p.m. All of the balloon teams launched from Balloon Fiesta Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico. They traveled eastward towards the Texas-New Mexico border and took winds that angled them toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area, crossing over Arlington at approximately 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Poland Team 1 was flying at an altitude of 12,000 feet to pass over the Dallas-Fort Worth airspace and started their descent a short time later. The balloon's tracking device indicated that the aircraft's motion had stopped at 7:25 p.m. There was good weather and good visibility in Crandall at the time of the accident. All of the balloons are filled with hydrogen gas. This is an industry standard for flying gas balloons, both in North America and Europe, where the sport is very popular. The team's two-person chase crew was in Wichita Falls at the time of the accident. This is also typical for gas balloon chase crew to stage in an area for a time, then to catch up with the team. The chase crew are now reunited with the pilots in Dallas. The Gordon Bennett competition continues. It continues today. There are 12 teams that are still in flight. Several are anticipated to be landing this morning. We'll have updates as warranted.
And we'd like to follow now with a statement from Director Thomas.
All of us in the command center are closely monitoring the situation in Texas with Poland 1. And our thoughts are with our pilots Krzysztof and Piotr, their support crew, their family, and everybody involved. We are relieved that this outcome of the incident was not any worse, and that Krzysztof may even be released from hospital. His ground crew is with him in the hospital, and balloonists in Texas are helping to support them. We are receiving many words of encouragement and support from the teams in the Gordon Bennett and also from balloonists in the community. So the ballooning community is a close-knit community who never hesitates to reach out for help and to help us all. And we would like to thank all the balloonists who offered their assistance, especially those now in Texas helping the pilots and the family. The Coupe Aeronautic Gordon Bennett is the world's oldest air race, founded in 1906. It's the World Championship for gas balloon distance ballooning. The balloon or the pilots participating in this race are very well aware of the certain element of risks as air sports have. Christoph and Piotr are adventurous people and are long-time balloonists who well understand these risks. They would not wish this incident to distract and draw attention from competition still going underway, and wish teams.
All right, so Dan, let me show you what I'll be talking about. All right, so I'm going to while my balloon is red. I'm going to go in flight and conditions, okay? A lot of people get this messed up, and it kind of screws a lot of your. I mean, yeah, you can still see players with live, but if you once you see it says live players are available if you don't change the time of the day. So pretty much once you select this, you see all your players, but once you change your time of the day, that's why it disappears. So you want this on all players. So even if you do change your time, you can still see everybody. You know what I mean? So, and I pretty much have my weather on live, and I just changed the time. I don't know why my time's right there. Of course, I have to refix it now, but. This is a lot of the main issues a lot of people have. A lot of people don't understand that once you have it on live, yeah, you can see people as long as you do not change the time. So, just a heads up on that. That's a big fix that a lot of people get confused on, and I did too. So, hopefully that helps.
As well to Piotr and to Christoph.
Yes, absolutely, and I think it's as Thomas said, it's really a nice community. They work together. We did keep the pilots informed as much as we could, and you saw those messages coming through.
We've also got a race update from the Benoits and France won. Let's check it.
Good morning, my friend. This is France 1 live, still heading back.
It's all good, dude. Alex, I had the same problem when I first started flying this crap. We still having issues with it, I know Alan's got like a limited time, so we're gonna make sure we try to get him in. I might just go ahead and just kind of do like a one chance, like just give it a couple more seconds, and I'll let y'all go off and do y'all's thing.
Great result at the moment, 1,823 kilometers, currently second place of USA 1, 1,806.
I'm probably going to be
Spain.
So I might be looking off here and let y'all.
So yeah, as you see, like we still have a decent pack of balloons flying here. They were all low during the night, so they let the balloons try to get use as little ballast as possible during the night, but they still had a decently nice speed heading east. We do now see some differentiation here. We just got word of USA 3, Cherry. They landed just after the Mississippi River, just after they sent us those wishes, and based on tracking it also looks like Spain. So, but I believe right now the goal is for them is to go as far east as possible, if they can, as far north as possible. You can see that this chart here, these are basically all points of the same distance from each point. So
I'm going to just take off from here, like, close in a manner. I'll just kind of go off on that, and I'll fly for a second. By that time, I'll just go find y'all's spot, and cold air place, and take off. Things down.
Yeah, I think this big question is, makes it furthest north and has the instruction.
It's all confusing, man. My balloon be doing some space auctions type shit. But yeah, if y'all want to go ahead and go find y'all spots, y'all are more than welcome.
I think this is certainly one element that
Probably gonna. I mean, yeah, we kind of.
you certainly have, I would say, no, but less congestion airspace. Nice.
Definitely behind you. Yeah, y'all feel free to go ahead and y'all can go. I got y'all's names down. I'm gonna launch from here, the balloon of the day, and after the anthem, and probably land a little bit, and then I'm just gonna focus on y'all. But I got y'all's names down for storing. Even if other pilots come in after, they're still. So pretty much, just okay. So it's technically 12 minutes till we take off, right? So about 9:40 Central Standard Time, 10:40 Eastern Standard Time, we'll be closing the target zone. So.
Okay. It looked like he was on the top of the sand field. It's actually, he's on the width down by the stage. There's that shot. Yeah, it kind of looks like.
You know, that's kind of funny that you mentioned about being way up there, because I manage the official photography.
Yeah, the range is bro.
Right.
And we have
as if you don't have enough to do
also,
already.
Right. We have like 20 of them, and about half.
They say they're
of them,
supposed to clear up.
It's their first time shooting.
Tonight's gonna be a good night to fly. The winds are gonna die down a little bit more. It's gonna be cold. Yeah, y'all go find yourselves a place to go. To make sure. Look, y'all pay attention. Let me turn it down.
And I said.
One of the main rules of, that I have for when it comes to fly-ins, it has to be a 3-mile radius. Pretty much. I mean, this is like more of a 5 mile here. So kind of anything within, you know, this little area, like try to start from the outside of this. This is where I need y'all to start out, right here. See the circle? This is y'all. Y'all got to start on this outside of this right here. Yeah, I know it's very strong, brother. But you ain't gotta fly, man. If you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't feel like it, I get it. But it might be a little cooler, calmer once you know how the sim is. The sim will make your balloon look like it's in a hurricane, then you take off and it's just sitting there like, what? You know. No, I get it though. But yeah, make sure y'all have to. This is y'all's radius right here. You have to take off on the outside of these. You cannot take off inside here. I don't know if y'all are hearing me or not. Might check. But yeah, make sure y'all are outside of this radius. I guess that'll be fine. See, my balloon's being a spaceship right now.
Okay. The graphic we have that we'll get up on get up here soon shows kind of looks like that's north. It's the west side ones are kind of indicated as the red scoring area, and that's more for a color to illustrate the point you just made. You got to hit the two triangles that go together.
That go together on a single X. You can't go from one X to another.
So no, if you come across the field east to west, east, that would be a great way to hit one triangle, but that's not going to
score.
You need the north, south, north path to be able to do
Yeah, I got you.
All right, we'll get those graphics down to the truck if we would.
Yeah, we'll bring those up.
Bring
Get
those
ready
up
for
when we get a little
competition.
closer. But that's
so
what we're
folks can
after.
understand.
Hesitation walls will be task 3. Task 4, a maximum distance double drop.
So y'all pay attention to the winds
So
of
on
my
the
balloon
hesitation
right
walls,
now.
X is the same ones that
And
are
the
being
wind
used for the
size.
hesitation for the.
It
the
appears
max
that they are
distance.
different. It appears that they
In
are
other words,
different.
will there be 4 X's out on the field? 2 for the hesitation
Oh
walls?
no, you know what? Now that
So
I'm comparing
before
the
y'all
graphics,
actually
they're
take
the same
off,
X.
I would
So
see,
you're gonna be
I would
throwing
watch
different
to see
colored
what my
markers.
balloon
Yes,
does
marker.
Yep,
taking
no, they are
off
the same
after the
place. I look
anthem.
closer.
So
Into
y'all
the
can have a better
triangles, and
chance
then a
of
different
figuring out
color
where y'all
marker
really
onto
want to
the
sit
X.
at.
So yeah, so when
So
you
as you're
come
coming
across,
across, you drop in one triangle, then you drop a different color at the X, and then you drop in the other triangle as you're going out.
yeah. So to
Ideally.
be even more specific, throw a red, throw some other color on the X, and then throw a second red on the second
Okay,
triangle.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, right. But the 2
If you're
X's,
moving that fast.
the 2 X's are involved in both tasks.
Yes.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Good question. I was looking at 2 different graphics and didn't realize that the X's are going to be in the same place. And one will be a little bit farther north than the other.
So, and the nice thing is, if we have light winds, that's easy to do. If you've seen, and I've seen it, when we're flying at a little faster speeds, sometimes when you've got those multiple drops, you just fly over the target, throw every marker you've got over the side, and hope they hit somewhere, because you don't have time to go boom, boom, boom.
There's Bill Lee with
Y'all can
the
take off
Mexico
that area, that's
Triple.
fine.
He's out there
Holy
at the top
crap.
of that balloon. Gonna be his
I just got a
crown.
whole
Graphic
wind
on
from the
that jacket,
northeast
my
just
gosh,
now.
that's gorgeous.
Yep. Yeah, don't step
A
over
whole
ropes
wind.
like that. Go around. Like you wouldn't step on the balloon itself.
What?
Or even attempt to go over high bill.
So yeah, once you make contact with the ground on the infield of the airport,
Yes.
you can try to do touch and go to many targets that's in your direction. But once you touch the ground inside the airport zone, that's it. You're marked. And I'll mark you to the closest. Technically, you got to hit inside the mark. So let me explain real quick one more time. Okay. So technically, if you land anywhere within here, I'll even give you the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere on the concrete, that's 5 points. To land in here, that's 10 points. That's like the dead center of the airport, you know, when they cross. And then just right here off the side, there's a helicopter symbol, it's a helipad symbol. This is the 15-point target. So just focus on that. This is where your marks are, right there in the middle. And then, of course, you got the helicopters. Screenshot it, save it if you need it. We're getting ready to go here.
From the field here, as soon as we get the balloon of the day in the sky, kind of a mini mass ascension, and then about 8 o'clock, we'll start our competition when the other half of the balloons will be flying back towards us.
And that's a good time to remind folks that as the ascension from the field wraps up, we will get scoring officials out beginning to flag off the scoring areas. We'll be asking spectators to move off to the north, south, east, or west perimeter of the field. And as a tip, as always, we suggest the east side, which is Main Street, is probably the best side that are available for the public to have a nice seat and watch the competition if you'd like. And as typical, the balloons will be landing once they've crossed the targets. Usually we keep the south end of the field open for landings down here along Corporate
Might be a
Row.
good thing.
So I don't encourage a lot of spectators to come south. Most will go east, and they're also not only can they
Do
see
what
the
you think is
competition, but
best
they
for
can
your
do some
team,
shopping,
you know?
grab a bite of food, walk along Main Street, see all the attractions there if they like. But just again, a reminder that there will come a point we'll ask you to clear the field so that we can get the scoring area marked off and get ready with this morning's competition.
Lots of activity as Pilots and crews get their balloons ready to go airborne. You can look at the flags in the back. You see just a little bit of breeze, just
there's the
enough to fly nicely and not just.
And those are the bleachers I was just talking about.
There they are.
Over on
That's
the west
them.
side.
Yep.
There's the pilot briefing tower.
The
on
far
the left
left
of the screen, and then there you see the sets of bleachers. Those are there for the public. They're there for you. So if you'd like to go find get your popcorn and then just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I think that's one food that I haven't seen
I
much
just want to say
I don't know that I've ever seen it here, matter of fact.
I just want to say thank y'all for joining me this morning. I know a lot of people rather sleep in, but I would rather sleep in too, but I mean, shit, man. We making history and shit. So. Thank y'all for joining me. And hope you have a safe flight. Like I said, wait for me to take off.
I don't recall seeing anyone.
And y'all can go after that.
We are now 30 seconds away from 7
Once I take off, the target will be open. It'll be closed at 9:40 Central Standard Time. Here we go. Get ready. Waiting on the go ahead. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, good luck. I will be landing
Susan Tipton with our national anthem this morning as the Coca-Cola, the Swine Coca-Cola balloon, now above the sky, above Balloon Fiesta Park, getting us started as we await the sun coming over the top of the Sandias. But as you can see from that shot, we already have a number of balloons hot inflated, ready to take to the sky as we fill the skies of Albuquerque with balloons from Balloon Fiesta Park, followed by balloons from around the area flying back into the park with competition.
Looks to be another exciting day. The sky is beginning to lighten. We can see the sun just hitting some of the clouds in the park. It's beginning to light them up a bit. Will be a few more minutes before we'll see that here.
First time we've had clouds all week, which means it's going to be even a more beautiful sunrise than normal. When you have the clouds, you have some different colors.
That's true. And what's really fun is when you get those little, what we call the cotton candy clouds.
Yeah.
You know, little puffy clouds that are, as the sun comes up, turn a little light pink.
Yeah.
You know, it's really,
see a little bit of the pink out to the west and south.
Yeah, you can see a little out there. And if you look way out to the northeast,
where the mountain kind of comes down.
At the end of the mountain range there, you can see some of the pinkish color in the skies.
And we are now away with Earl Buzzard, and Buzzard's a roost right off the side. Coca-Cola has already turned to go to the west. There goes ExxonMobil.
Travis Vinsel is aboard there. Nice wave.
That's Tristan McLean.
Tristan McLean. I'm sorry. You're right. The Cowboy has waved to us. Yeah. Sorry, Tristan.
We are going right off the southwest corner of the field, right over the Gondola Club. Yep. One of those great places to spend time here at the Balloon Fiesta.
I thought I saw my longtime friend Tom Goff.
He was. He came by to say hi yesterday.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to say hello to him. Tom usually volunteers down at the Gondola Club. Tom and I were...
Brother, you can have as many tries you want within the open time zone window, but you have to land first. That's the only rule I really got. You have to land first.
Another years now, the concierge program, where you can book basically a
that's my only rule with that.
Here at Balloon Fiesta.
Well, the two rules with the timing thing.
2 to 4 people, and we will set you up on a golf cart with a driver, guide type of person who will take you around the field, give you your personal information, and just take care of you to have a great time here at Balloon Fiesta.
That's awesome. And there's no better guide that I can think of than Tom. Tom is great. Knows this place backwards and forwards. Been a volunteer here for a number of years.
Right.
Great guy.
Now I get to have fun. The judge will score y'all. Keep an eye on y'all.
Good to see you.
I finally got to say hi to him at the Navigator party yesterday. Thank you,
okay.
Yeah. So I kind of waved at him as I was leaving the stage here to go to competition down on the field, and then I caught up with him a little bit later. Tom lives in the, it's not really the metro area, but he's not very far from here. Coach Lake, I think, is where he's now residing. He's finally come down from Idaho.
Yeah, because we used to fly in
Yeah, with the winds, y'all gonna be in here in no time.
years together. Had some great times up there. The Cuervo.
And I do screenshot as soon as you hit or whatever area, I screenshot it. So, like I said,
Bright yellow with red and blue horizontal
let me show you.
bands, and
So the center here, if you land within these on the concrete, that's 10 points.
TLC plumbing and TD. Yes.
If you land anywhere in here, I'll count it as 5.
He says, I absolutely love the Gondola Club. Can't recommend it enough. Great food, amazing hospitality.
Absolutely, I know that's true.
And here, you have to land inside this, in this square. That's 15 points.
Stage manager pointing out that the balloons are already going back to the north.
Boxing back, yeah.
Yeah, well, even Coca-Cola has gone a little bit higher. So, definitely out to the northwest.
Well, and there's Tristan at ExxonMobil. He went high pretty quick, and he's headed out to the northwest. And yet,
do your thing, brother. Take your time, man.
Taylor over in the Stars and Stripes balloon from the Dawn Patrol. And look at him. He's down low along the trees, and he's moving north to south. So we're seeing evidence of that drainage that Brad Tiemeyer, thank you, told us to watch for. There goes Cool Beans.
So
southwest corner.
Setting up to be a great
we
day
got Joe
for
Chips coming on in.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, if you
Don
feel
Henderson,
like,
if you're listening, you picked a good day to go to the river.
you know what I'm saying, if you feel like you're not going to be satisfied with it, you can land and start over, but you cannot land in this field unless you touch and go and you've already been scored. If you land in this field, you will be scored as that. So you have to land inside this to be scored anything, you know what I mean? You have to, in the zones, the target areas. So just a heads up, everybody. You can land to restart over, but you cannot touch this infield on the airport at all. Unless you're scored and you're like, okay, I'm done. That's cool. But if you want another try, you cannot touch the inside of this field. It is forbidden. Thou shalt not pass. Stop. It's too early for that shit. Right, we got Joe Chips coming in on first.
That only lasted probably about a month, if that, and now it's back down to probably lower levels than ever. Sean, the balloon, I think, where are you?
Or in the office.
Okay. Yeah. So, ladies, you both set world records. What was the impact of your mom and dad on you in terms of either of you can take that up there?
Well, when you get into it,
So So my thing is, if y'all can get a straight east path, you can get 5 points, 10 points, possibly 5 more points, which would be what? 20 points right here. Or you can somehow get the 5 and 10 and sneak over here and grab the 15. I'm just saying that this could be your best bet to get the most points is coming straight down this way. Or somewhat catty corner.
You can't, screw off.
Are you saying you missed your teenage years?
Almost. Yeah, I took a year off college to fly for my dad because he needed another pilot. And I went back to college and I'm like, wow, everybody seems so immature.
I think it's what was really fun for us was when we had the fleet of Coke and balloons, 8 balloons, flying all over the world, the opportunity to fly. And,
I mean, the rain disappeared, bro. That's pretty cool.
Denise
Mother
took
Nature, thank
Dad's
you.
aviation piece.
All right, that's C4, y'all. Joe's closing
I took
on
the
in.
marketing and advertising piece working in New York. So we are definitely byproducts of our parents, and began to fly that airship with Denise.
So yes, this morning points will be combined from yesterday's morning points. So
we're so grateful though to
if you weren't flying yesterday, I mean, you can still win the day in the morning. Right now we got Joe Chips. He's starting to head on in. It's gonna be our first competitor that might decide to go ahead and do his thing, or might want to try it. If he's on a good straight line, then I mean, take it while you got it.
Before I let you go, Bobby, just to take that back. There you go. Do you have a lasting memory that has developed over all these years? I mean, you're back now. This is the 51st year here first. What does Albuquerque mean for you in your heart? Is it a special place for you and your family? Is Albuquerque a special place for you and your family now after all these years?
Otherwise, we were here all the time.
Well, we look forward to seeing you back for the next 51 years. It's always a pleasure to have you here, Donna. Denise, thank you so much for coming up, bringing your
I see Alan down over there, the bottom right.
Hey, thank you for hanging in. You've done such a good job.
All right, so we got Chips coming on in. Let's see if he's going to try to take this shot, or
thank you so much.
or is he going to?
Bobby Whitaker.
Hope he don't touch this ground.
From her late husband, Matt Whitaker, one of the 13 original pilots, daughters Denise and Donna, one of the original great families of women here at Albuquerque and the Fiesta. Thank you again so much. Do be careful getting down.
We got Dan back there.
Have a wonderful Fiesta.
All right, so we got Joe coming on in, and it looks like he's got a good little line so far. I'm gonna be marking his points if he decides to land, or touch and go.
And the ladies up there on the stage. So we are down here in the middle of competition. Competition is actually already open. We've had a number of balloons start to come by. Let me talk about what the competition is today. The big one is a maximum double drop, maximum distance double drop. So
All right.
we're here at the end of the target, the X. And so this right here.
All right, Joe, he's coming on in.
The best spot in this triangle. There is a corresponding triangle.
Hope that was a glitch.
And I'm just going to slide in here and let Eddie go and show you that we have an X down here. So this is all good scoring.
If there are any other hot air balloon pilots that are watching, feel free to come on, join in. Target closes at 9:40 Central Standard Time. Oh no, Joe caught a whole different wind on him. No. Joe caught a whole different wind from the northeast just now. Look at that, y'all. Scooby, you actually might be in good spot right there where you at up there, because Joe was in line for this 3-score shot, and this wind said nope. No.
competitions today. Maximum distance.
All right, so his next shot could be this one over here.
Now there's two of these sets. We're on the eastern one, and over a little bit farther to the north.
It's up to him. If you don't want to try to just go for 5, he can land somewhere else and take off back. Take back off and try again. But Scooby might be in good prime condition if he, because that lowest surface level really is from the northeast, and that puts Joe off course tremendously. What you doing, Joe? You gonna try again? You gonna land and try again? Man, that's just gonna be. I tell you, but it's crazy. You thinking now, man? We got like 6 targets, man. This is hard as hell. Especially trying to get just 1, much less 2 or 3. I think you about to go try again, huh?
We're going to get out of the center of this triangle here, though. We don't need to have markers set on us. I wanted to just show you, kind of get you a sense of how big this really is and how big it was, and so that we're going to get outside of it so that they're. We don't want to be
Dan all right over there.
pilots that are coming in, and
All right, I see. Okay, buddy.
issue that they might be thinking about hitting us with that marker. So the banner 271.
Oh, he be with that LSU color too, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's my boy there, then. Oh yeah, with that purple and gold. Purple and gold. Purple and gold. Nah, that's black and yellow.
Just outside.
All right.
Looks like he's throwing.
Yeah, Joe said he's gonna try again. All right, cool beans. So our next closest competitor right now would be Allen, which I think he's gonna be going
Looks like he.
south of it as well.
So we got 2 of 3 markers thrown. All right, Art, we're going to toss the graphics.
Coming across here.
Yeah, we're going to toss the graphics up on screen just real quick. Let me double explain that. I know you just
We got Scooby coming on in.
So there are 2 X's on the field.
Yeah, that lower level is definitely pushing from the northeast.
Marker as close to the center of either of those X's as they want. If you go down to the second graphic, there you see the 2 triangles. There's a red one and a blue one for our purposes, not for the pilots. So the object is to get, ideally, let's look
Like I
at
said,
the
a reminder, you cannot land in this airport to start over. If you touch the airport, that's where you're done for the day.
as far apart as possible. Put 1 marker in each of the 2 triangles in order to get max distance.
I know I said it before, just a reminder, just in case. I don't pay attention. I be zoning out some ball.
So your seabed special shape coming in right on the east side over by the crowd.
And look at the weather, Mother Nature, bro. Look, she's like, I'm gonna bring you some sunshine here in a little bit.
Spiral staircase red and black and white. Racer coming in.
See what Alan doing over here. What you doing, my boy?
And he's getting ready to wind up already.
I'm missing my binocular right now because I was trying to see a banner that was way too far away for that.
Somewhere in the middle. 142 maybe.
All right, take a shot.
Yeah, 142.
Them winds are shifting, aren't they? I can see it.
That's not what shows up as the same one, unfortunately.
I can see it.
042.
Well, Scooby's way over there. You might have to land and try again, my boy.
Yep, that is, that's Bill Bussey.
I have the Loveless Health System.
Unless you're getting that low level, I don't think. Everything, I think the winds have shifted more the other way, because even Joe Chips is going more to the right.
Yeah, that was Dr. Bill Bussey out of Longview, Texas.
Why the hell do I smell syrup? Now I want waffles and syrup. Alright, so we have Alan coming in. Scooby looks like he's just, the wind had changed. So he's going to try again, obviously. Alright, Alan, I know you got only a few minutes left. I know you got time restrictions. So Alan will probably be making his pass here on this round. So he has a chance to score once, twice, 3 times at least. So let's see what he can do. He didn't fly yesterday morning's competition flight, so, and Scooby and Chips are tied at 5 points in first. So Alan can actually come back with one morning flight and win the whole thing. See Dan back there. See you over there, brother. How the winds doing, y'all? They like slowing down? What you doing, Chips? I'm like, you good? Yeah, on the other side of that road, yeah. My boy's genius. He's like, bitch, this ain't far from the airport. That's genius, son. Nice job, dude. Alright. So far, Allen's going to be the next one in. Scooby's down there landing. He's going to restart. Try again.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's one of the it's a white camera, white vertical doors, and then, like you say, the yellow and red, orange, and kind of terminates in blue. It looks like an equator. That would be our camera. Okay, I'm trying to point it out to our camera down here so that we can get the shot from here as well as that shot from there. Yes,
y'all gonna have to go more southeast of the field. Cool. And what was that there? Yeah, that wind grabbed him. Look.
So the object is you get one marker as close to the center of the X as you can, and then you need to get two, one into each triangle as far apart as possible. And again, obviously, the best distance, the maximum distance, which is what today's task is, will be at the tip of each of those triangles.
But he knows what he's doing though. That wind's coming back the other way. He's trying to at least get 1 point, or one score.
Oh, I see him. Yeah, he's right above you.
Scooby's still over there. He's getting the land.
I can see Johnny Petrin and Steve Jones up high. There's Paul.
All right, let's see. Still got a chance for targets. Definitely got a chance for the helicopter pad.
Ken Braun doing his bombing like he did yesterday because he's right now between the two different sets of targets.
That'd be 15 points. This helicopter, but you have to land inside of the square. You have to land inside of the square.
Great throw on the X by the Kubicek multicolor racer with the stair-step pattern, winding up to throw the red one, coming right down and just outside the triangle. His red marker out for the triangle. And that's outside the triangle on the western target. Remember, there's two sets of targets here. One east of the road, one west of the road. The western one is a little bit farther north than the one on the east side. We're going to have a nice slow pass by this white racer with the red and black accents.
All right, and here's your other target area here, which you probably not going to make that.
Special has now made another
Joe
run
Chips,
around. He's coming down on the western target now.
Dude, you're going to have to start more southeast of the airport. Y'all are going too far north from the airport.
While we're watching the red and white one come in, John Wilson is dropping on the target on the far, on the west side.
Like y'all are way,
I didn't see his first drop, but his
y'all
second
need to be like
one
over
into the
here.
Second triangle.
This is where
right about
everybody's going this way. Everybody. Y'all need to start out this one.
So this is going to be a great pass by this racer white with the red, black, and silver stripes.
That is a balloon.
Because he's just going to have a little toss.
I mean, you might get 5.
Right over the
All you gotta do, look, all you gotta do is land within this area on concrete.
Right on the X.
And nice lined up for the maximum tip of the second triangle. Throw before you get to the tip.
Okay, I see.
Nice shot. That's
going
going to
for
be a
this.
great score.
He's going for
That
the
is
helicopter.
Edward Gordon out of Austin,
going for the
Texas,
helicopter,
in a balloon
y'all.
called Freedom 1.
Oh shit! You better get down if you want it. You better get down if you want it. You got to touch the side of the square.
Nice throw by
Oh.
Banner 59. Is that you, Crystal?
No.
And inside the triangle as well.
Dude, so
59
close.
would be Shane
So close.
Shipman in Maze Magic. If that's the right banner number, yeah, that's the kind of black,
All
white,
right, you're.
purple, pink spiral balloon.
You gotta
there.
land on the. You gotta land over here now.
With the Ciarza social
Let's
media
go in this
banner
area.
on it.
Yeah,
Unless you
that's
can somehow
Shane
get
Shipman out of Rio Rancho. Maze Magic is the name of the balloon.
Damn, Alan. Bro, you were like, dude, you know if you'd have landed
Got
this
the
right here,
freedom
you would have
racer
like
behind
changed the
you
whole
there,
game
Art.
just
I
now.
put behind you if you're where I think you are.
Damn.
In the blue with the
Damn.
silver and white checkerboard banner.
Now you gotta find a place to land if you have time to
Cameron
try
Wall
again.
Also over there in his seascape
Damn,
balloon.
bro.
Rod Baca in the cruise control red, white, and blue with the Farmers banner on it. He's dropping his banners on the
boy,
western set of targets. And Moonscape coming right
see,
down
you
the
might
road
better
between
land
the
on-
targets.
Cameron Wall climbing now from the west
Gonna
side.
throw the purple one towards the X. That'll be a decent score. The red racer throwing on the western X.
Now, if you need to land, Alan, you got enough time, you can land on this side right here like Joe did, but you cannot land in the, unless you're landing to score.
Right next to each other. One of the Hartzels, I'm
But
guessing
looks
Joe
like you're going that way.
and Joe Zabata. Remember that they came
Sorry, bro.
through
Close,
very
man.
quickly.
All right, next we have
yesterday
Dan
to the
coming
boat.
on in the purple
Yeah,
and
they might be
gold.
flying as a team.
One of my favorite
Zabata,
balloons.
Joe and the Hartzels is quite possible. Sometimes multiple competitors
We'll
will
try to
team
come
up
in for maybe
together
5
and share
points.
information and strategy with each
Maybe
other.
an extra 5 over there if he's on point with it. But if he decides he does not want this, he can
On our
land,
eastern target,
try again.
there's a great throw on the far triangle.
It's only 8:54 Central Standard Time, so y'all still got over 40 minutes
Already
left.
threw it on the other one. This is 221.
I swear I keep smelling fucking syrup.
Great shot, great drop with
I
one
am
of
not
them, and
tripping,
then
bro.
he doesn't have the other.
221 is Brett Christensen in the balloon called Resurrection out of Indianola, Iowa.
Golly,
So
Alan.
Joe Zabata
Alan said,
and Joe
screw it, I'm gonna go
Hartzell
be in the
coming in,
clouds.
lining up on the western target. Let's move this way,
That's
guys.
funny. All right, here we go. We got Dan coming on in. Now, Dan, like I said, you can
And you'll remember
try
the
again. If you want to
purple,
land
blue,
anything
and
outside
pink
of the
one,
zone, you can land
the
in.
Viva
Anything
shaped
aside this,
Cameron
obviously,
that
is
was
off
in the
limits.
mix with them yesterday.
Get you
He's right in the
disqualified
mix
for
with
the
them
day.
again.
Now, if you're going to land, it makes a point. Make sure you touch, concrete area. But I'm telling you, I think y'all need to start a little more over this way. See this little mountain peak? Y'all need to start a little more over this way, son. Because everybody's going
both
this
Joes
way. Everybody.
splitting the other racer,
Even though the
being
wind
led
down
by
here
the Viva
says that.
Cameron. I see markers being dropped quickly.
That dude in the clouds. I don't think you'll make it, Dan.
So Joe
Try
Hartzell had
again,
a
but don't
great
land in
drop
the
on
airport.
triangle and on the X. I
Don't
missed
land
to
in the
see
airport.
what he
Nice
got
try,
on
brother.
the first
You're the
triangle.
closest one so far. That means besides, Allen coming in and doing that,
the zigzag
definitely worth it.
pastel
Now, if you want
colors
to try to
winding
get
up.
extra, maybe another
And now
chance
some of the passengers throwing the
for
other
this,
one,
which I would just say try again, because you got plenty
which
of time.
we've seen as a good strategy. You have
But
to
this is
throw
only
those
5
three
points.
baggies fairly quickly. The
So
speeds are
whatever
just a little
you want
quick
to do,
here.
my boy.
So it's kind of a throw is the pace of being able to do those. And so you either have to have the baggies in your hand. If you're going to do the windup, you don't have an opportunity to do that. So sometimes you have one of your passengers throw one of the baggies, whether it's the first or second triangle or maybe the X in the middle.
Did you really just take off?
222 is one of our international pilots. The balloon is called Colored. That's Pavel
He's like, yo.
And they are here from Cyprus.
Y'all need to go a little more south, bro.
Just actually
go a
just
little more
touched
south
down,
over this area.
and it's kind of a chevron spiral of sky blue, purple, pink, and yellow. And maybe a little teal green in there as well. They just touched the ground.
Go north of this damn airport.
So on the eastern target, you've got the kind of the white with zigzags.
And
They
we
just
got
missed
Dan
the
up there
banner.
too.
That is Ken Walter.
They're trying to figure out which X goes where, which marker goes on where. There's a good one on the X. And in the triangle. And I think they got the first triangle as well.
That's Ken Walter out of Wisconsin.
Yellow and blue.
I'm about to enter
Yellow
the
and blue
competition.
with the Lake Powell, Page Lake Powell banner on it. Going to come right over the road, right over the cadre of safety officials and scoring officials. Still going to throw. The orange one is outside the triangle. 275. The marker is the orange
Light
marker
man
is
just entered the
outside the
competition.
triangle. The yellow one will be scored to the X. Sean Rams.
I've done that stuff before, bro.
The Blaser balloon that was in the competition yesterday coming right down the road. Then there's the black with blue and lime green racers.
I mean, hey, bro, as long as you ain't touch the ground, you good, homie. Do your thing, Alan. I know how you do your shit.
So the red balloon with the blue top, good, and the oxy balloon coming right in quickly towards you. They both had good lines on the eastern target. Looking west, I see Eric Greenwood with the yellow and the red New Mexico silhouette on it. Drop towards the X. Chris Sabia and the Wonder Balloon coming in on the western target as well. Keep looking forward. There were some balloons that were around Ralph Kaiser and our EOS balloon. And the balloon, the marker gets caught up in the crown line, one of the ropes coming down from the top. I was talking with Pat Cannon this morning. He ended up extending his stay by another day. Oh. You talked to him yesterday morning about this time, and we were talking about how many of the lines, the tracks the guys had coming in, and then only to blow the throw. You wait too late, or you get the marker, you're doing the windup, and you get it caught in the rope or on the upright. And how many times that has happened?
Going on, man.
Yeah, you wind up and it catches on the rope, and you got to unwind it and start over. And while you're doing that, the balloon is going over, passing the target. Exactly. We got a pilot that we captured on Balloon Fiesta Live a few years ago. Then we counted him. He actually Pittsburgh, Indiana. His 29th year here. Recall, but I've known Jerry and his lovely wife Kathy since they first got married years ago, long before Spencer ever came along.
I think I'm a little too south.
Markers dropping in right in front of us from a high.
You know, the other thing about today is this is a one-pass day. You're not going to get multiple attempts, I don't think.
There is a really low level, and I've seen the special shape Makata Masada. He managed to make 3 very quick passes here.
Oh.
So I'm not, and each one was and maybe get a really small quick box to get to the west. But if your first pass is over on the west, you're right, you're not going back.
But if you've already dropped on the east, you can't drop to the west target because you're already done. If you don't,
exactly.
If you come down,
I think what Masada did is I think he moved on
He
the
good to
triangles,
restart.
and as he rolled
You know what I mean?
around,
To
he
restart
controlled the X on the other side.
That's crazy. 1,000 more,
okay.
Jesus.
Because I was going to say, if you come down on the east side and you drop at that target, and then you go up and maneuver around and move further to the west, you then can't drop though on the west target, or on the X, depending on which one you Boy, that Monster balloon you were talking about, look at them. They have gone way, they are sky high out there and moving hard back to the east. He's up almost directly above Main Street.
Definitely changed upstairs in the west.
So we're still trying to get
directions have changed. Looking high. We definitely had a change in what's happening with the winds and the skies.
There is that Scotty out there?
Just different.
Right. There's the Dos Equis balloon. That would be right.
Yes, it would be.
And then not further out.
So see what was back.
Go ahead.
What's happened here is what was south.
Direction. There's way up high. Look out.
Over to the.
Just hit right in the middle of the roadway. I think it was out of that yellow balloon with the pink and green lattice work around the top. Looks like
yeah, the winds, man, they suck.
Yep,
They suck, dude.
just grab the basket and it's down safe.
Okay.
Steve Party out of Kansas, Texas. Let's go this way. And what's also apparent, all of a sudden, that big group, that trail of balloons that were coming from the southeast to the northwest, the sky to the southeast now above me is virtually empty.
It definitely cleared out quickly, didn't it?
It sure did.
gone, Alan?
the maximum distance part of this one. And I'm looking at the other one, and there's a lot up there. So there's a lot of great scores over
I
here.
think you have to go,
Western.
huh? Hey, man, we tried, bro. I appreciate you joining us, dude. I really do.
The other thing that happens is I realized I left my sunglasses in my car, and it's getting a bit bright up here for me, but we'll struggle through.
There's actually 5 red markers right up here at the tip of this triangle, as well as another 1, 2, 3,
Yeah, you're a hell of a flyer, Alan. Trust me. We got the evening flight tonight, so. And technically, nobody has a lead. Everybody starts at 0 because yesterday's evening flight got canceled because of the weather. So tonight's the actual brand new one-night flight competition. So.
Let's go up to this and see what we've got up there.
All right. So I'm over here. Where's Scooby go?
A quick comment while you're moving your location there. Pat Wiseman says, your coverage of the competition is incredible. The cameras are perfect, and Greg and Art's comments are right on target. Thank you, Greg, whoever you are. It's
oh, you restarting Scooby? Gotcha. I was like, where'd you go?
But that's okay. We appreciate the comment.
Yeah, Greg's out here with me, keeping us.
I got a whole north here. That's crazy as hell, dude.
But you see there's a yellow one and another white one.
I see you, dude. That's crazy, man.
The center of that X.
Wow. Now they measure to the closest point of the weighted part of the bag.
We got Dan coming on in too.
That is correct.
So we had 30 more minutes before the target field is closed and the flag turns red. There's a flag on the bottom right of my screen. So it will turn yellow once for like 10 minutes into 10-minute countdown of the flag, the closing of the target. Joe's trying to hit a target over here at the helicopter here. And now he is tied with Scooby for first. 5 apiece. Gustavo's not here this morning. And my guys is flying in the air and getting tricked by the winds. Let's see. Is he going to try to... Don't touch. But once you touch the airport, I mean, you can try. You have to find a score. If you get what I'm saying? Like,
well, as we saw yesterday,
if you hit the ground accidentally, then you better score there.
The weighted part fell over the side.
Once
the tail of the baggie was still in the boat. But as you verified, the weighted part was on the
technically, you can land and drag. There's no rules about dragging. Like, once you touch the airport, though, then you have to find the score way to score. If not, then Man, don't be frustrated, Scooby. This is all about fun, brother. It's all about learning. The Albuquerque is going to be the big one. That's going to be the real good one. So, man, you're good. Almost chips. No, yeah, you're not going to make that either. We got Dan coming on in.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll carry on while Art is lost in communication with Art. Live broadcasting, those kind of things happen.
See what Dan does.
We have a break in the competition anyway. As you can see, the sky above the target is clear.
I know that
There are a lot of
wind.
balloons still flying, but none of the competitors are in a position to make a run to the target. As I was saying, the target window, the competition window stays open.
All right, so we got Dan coming on in. Let's see if he can get lined up to anything in the target. You got your target here in the concrete area with those lines. Same here. You got to land in the square. No points available here. And you got your over here. looks like Dan's on his way to get 10 points here, ladies and gentlemen. But you have to hit the concrete. You touch the grass, it does not count.
Back up and fly around 20 minutes and move and change your lane. Drop your second marker on the target. Once you've dropped your marker, you're committed to a run to the target, and all the markers have to come out of that pass.
Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Just got to touch that concrete. You got to touch the concrete. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, boy. Come on, come on, come on. Is he going to get 10? And you can still go score another one down there. Ooh, no. No, he just missed the concrete. No, Dad. No. Oh, shit. Here comes me. Crash. I mean, I can still try to get 5 points right here. Shit.
Altitude markers for our pilots, our rules and regulations pilots.
That's it for me.
75 feet high.
Damn. That's it for me, hit the ground. Shit, I came down too quick. I mean, if I would have hit the concrete, that would have been perfect, but I hit with that little, see, there's my mark on my balloon. It was that pow. Didn't say that. That's where I landed though. Alright, so I am out for the rest of the morning. We have Dan, Scooby, and Joe Chips at it again for another round.
Just so you know. And we've talked very little bit about the chainsaw carving exhibition while we do have a break for competition. If you look down to the north in the field, you can see those.
I mean, right now you might as well try to just get 1 point thing, but Dan was close. Oh my Lord, he was close.
That is the area where the chainsaw competition is taking place. The carving, it's both an exhibition and a competition, and they will be having an auction at 11 o'clock this morning. Just coming up to 8:45 now, about 49, and so at 11 o'clock this morning, they will be auctioning off a number of their creations there, which are usually quite exotic and quite fun to see. And they come in all sorts of sizes. I mean, I've seen them carve.
Yeah, these winds are definitely irate this morning.
That you can put right in your backyard, out on a deck or patio. There are tall sculptures. I think I've told the story probably too many times that a few years ago when I was still flying, I had a balloon called Coyote Balloon, and I went down and actually had a chat with.
All right, we got 22 minutes before the target area closes.
Some of the balloon manufacturing tents are open. We have representatives here from, it's getting a little difficult for me to see. I lost my sunglasses, but I think Cameron Balloons is here. Lynch Grand Balloons I know is here. Ultramagic is here. Check. Looks like the check tent is closed right now. But Lynch Grand, Cameron, and Ultramagic are
And hey Dan and Scooby, if y'all get a chance, go like my it's like the hot air balloon. It's called Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Hot Air Balloon Group. It's like one of the only ones on there. Go join the group page. There we have more in-depth stuff sometimes, and you can organize things a lot better, and you know you can be part of the tribe, brother. We welcome you, man. And the fact you got that purple and gold balloon, that was my first color livery ever flying in it, so hell yeah, that's what's up. Alright, Dan. Alright, so we got 20 minutes.
Yes, Glenn, I am here again. Welcome back. We had a little battery die on us, you know, and those things happen. It actually came at a perfect time because you haven't missed anything out here on the competition field. Our scoring team is taking advantage of the little break here to actually start measuring many of those baggies.
Scooby's coming on in. Maybe he might get 5 points. Look, if he gets 5 points, he beats Joe. If Joe can't get anything within the next 20 minutes. This is pretty much, Joe, you can be your last shot. Dan, maybe yours as well. Scooby, you might have another shot if you can't make it. But you just need 5, man. You just need 5. Land anywhere within the numbers in here. That's 5 points, bro.
Many of them that had not quite gotten to the field yet, so this is their opportunity to reset.
Perseverance, man.
Ralph Kaiser in our EOS balloon with this carrying our balloon.
Come on, Scoop. Scoop, let's go. It's too early for all that shit. Let them in. Come on, buddy. We got Dan up there on top. Yeah, I can see everybody glitching. Y'all not the only one. I'm watching all these letters and numbers, and they're all glitching too.
So now they've on the pilots have all adjusted. Blazer, who was almost directly over the top of me, apparently didn't like how much he adjusted, and he's going back up and going back out to the north.
Oh shit! Actually, you actually might be a good course there. I don't know. We'll see. But this is your best opportunity right here, Scooby. Just get you any kind of points, man. Will put you in the lead. Any kind of points right now.
Well, I had first spotted Blazer, who is
if you land inside this 15, bro, I'll give it to you. Anything right in here is 5 points, bro.
I had just spotted that he was.
Got to hit concrete though. Come on, Scooby. Come on, Scooby. You can do it, Scooby. Just got to hit the concrete first. Don't hit the ground. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Scooby, Scooby-Doo. Yeah. Scooby's got 5 points just now. Nice job, son. Hell yeah, dude. Scooby now has taken the lead.
I'm also at the point where I'm thinking if there's a sunglass vendor over there that wants to make a sale, bring me a pair up here to the tower and I'll happily pay for them. Mine are down. I hope mine are in my vehicle, but I don't do well with bright skies, and so I'm doing a lot of squinting up here. So a pair of sunglasses would be really handy. Unfortunately, my readers don't have photographic lenses.
Definitely, man.
Also be handy. But I can see there's a red racer up there. It looks like Steve Jones. I believe that's Steve with that yellow racer with the green checker at the bottom. Some of the pilots, too, who may have thrown their markers, might be simply going high and making an adjustment, trying to come back to the field and eventually make a landing as well. So not all of these balloons up there may be competitors who have not yet thrown their markers.
Scoring has been updated. Nice job, Scooby. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, I mean, you can try for the other one if you want, but I don't think you're gonna make it. But hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. So Scooby is now taking the lead.
Is there anything Windfire can't do?
He said you'd be, fuck yeah, dude, that's what's up. All right, Chips, pressure's on. We got about less than 16 minutes. Now you're being harassed by a mailman.
I think I'd like to do this. And Gary basically says, yeah, we can do that. It's always great.
I guess we get an air show too, huh?
It's nice to have blue
All right, Dan. Can Dan reach this 15? Can he get the 15? Ignore that guy. It happens. Dan, that's another thing, Dan. You're going to realize people get curious when they see balloons, especially a group in the air. All right, so let's see what Dan can do. Can he get on the scoreboard? Can he show up on day 2 and...
I'm just asking in case I'm the one that... But Blazer's going to have a great line now on the track.
Hey, mailman. Go deliver some mail, bro. You're running late. Leave my balloon people alone, though.
So you moved to the east target now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because everything had shifted.
All right, here comes Dan.
So now, of course,
see what he's up to.
We're on the west target because the winds were going that way. There's a like.
Let's see what he's likely going for. Okay, let's see.
Versus the Blazer one, but he's going to be right behind him. Good drop in the triangle.
He can steal the whole game right here. Dan can steal the whole game right here if he lands inside the square.
I don't know if you can hear the whooping and hollering here. We talked earlier about the celebrations that go on with some of these pilots when they get to the X or the target.
I was just thinking about all the comments we heard from the Gordon Bennett pilots about hearing the coyotes howl at night. That's kind of sounded like there was a coyote out there on the field doing a bit of howling. We could definitely hear it.
I think that was one of the pilots.
Then we got an air show going on too that I wasn't informed about.
People sitting up high.
If you look out toward the
quick to try and line
Keep
up.
an eye on you,
yeah, I
Jeff.
was gonna say, if you look toward the Pueblo, there's a rainbow, kind of a chevron.
So
rainbow
close.
that is really falling
So
fast.
close, brother.
Walking back and forth as he comes down.
Now watch for the flag in the bottom right corner of my screen. Once it goes yellow, that means there's 10 minutes to go. You can still possibly try to get something over here and get 5 points. See what Joe's doing over here.
And if you look out a little bit northeast, you'll see the lime green one making one of those quick descents. And even there is our balloon cam balloon from Kaiser.
Oh, Dan, so close, brother, but he's trying. He is trying to get there.
So now lining up to see what kind of drop in and path they can get.
Yeah, this is going to be your last shot. Shot chips.
Sorry, way out
If
to
not,
the
then
northwest.
Scooby takes the competition play.
Well, the competitors are coming from the northeast now that the wind has shifted, looks like.
All right, Chips.
And about 300 feet or less above the ground, it turns to straight south. We can see that in this red one with the 2 shades of green coming around the equator.
Is that green? Looks like yellow. Well, I've got, sorry, probably the sunglasses if I did.
It's kind of a greenish yellow on the
No,
top
you
and
don't miss it.
dark green in the middle.
Okay, yeah, I know the balloon you're talking about. It just, that second stripe looked like a yellow to me. But that's probably the effect of the sunglasses.
Yeah, he just needs 5. But I think he wants to win. This dude quit harassing my balloon.
Just being drawn right off the center of the X. And of course, he's right over the
You're gonna make me get my fighter pilot out, but you don't want that. They don't want that smoke.
There's the throw, and it's inside.
Hey, I know you watching my stream doing that. Got my back up. Look at my super jet coming back there. Look, better watch out. All right, so here we go, Joe.
She might claim I was so low that there wasn't time for the tail to unfurl.
Oh, you've been there and heard those discussions, have you?
I've made that argument, trust me. And I usually don't win.
No.
Because technically you should unfurl the marker while it's still in your hand.
that's just a one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Of course, it's hard to make that argument when you drop the marker and the rubber band is still attached. Has it all folded up and collapsed.
All right, no flagging up. Means there's 10 minutes. 10 minutes before the target area is closed, Joe. I think Dan, yeah. Nice day, Dan. Look, you came pretty close, buddy. It's all about practice, you know. These are just a little mini competitions. The Albuquerque hits, that's when it's be the big one. All right, Joe, this is your last chance, buddy. If you don't get 5 points, Scooby takes the first ever morning competition play.
Just the other side of the target area looks like yellow and red with one of the
spoil that.
valves on the side. I know that's a local one. I'm sure you're probably familiar with, Art.
Let's see where he goes.
Trying to find it.
That's going to be Marissa Myers, and it's the Shoney. Okay, actually, that was a local balloon, but Marissa and her husband.
Yes, sir. Next time we'll be back again this evening. 8:30 Central Standard Time. The weather should be a little better, and the wind should be a little better. We should have more people too, by the way. Our afternoon flights are always bigger and better. No, don't hit the ground, don't hit the ground, don't hit the ground, don't hit the ground. Oh no, Joe, no. Oh, you got to score now. You got to score. You cannot do a do-over. You can drag. No. Damn, Joe, you did the same thing I did. He said, damn it. Well, congratulations, Scooby. You are our morning flight flying competition champion. Congratulations, my boy. Everybody give a round of applause. Woo! I need some sound effects and shit in this bitch now. Hey, look, don't feel bad, Joe. I mean, I was that close from getting them 10 points, and I slammed to the ground. So, hey, that was hella fun. Definitely challenging. That was pretty badass, guys. Y'all did a fabulous job. I am fucking proud of y'all. But the winner for the morning is Scooby Doo. Yes, my boy, you came back and won that shit. Good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, I know. Well, New York wins. Oh well. We are going to have our next big competition in New Hampshire. May 8th, 9th, and 10th. Don't quote me on that, but find us on Facebook. I'll be making posts and stuff. Add us as friends too, either on here or on Facebook, so you can find us and be located and understand where we're going to be at on the map. And yeah, we'll be back here again this evening. This morning was Mother Nature kind of just said, all right, here you go. Gave us a nice morning, beautiful flight. This evening's going to be a little sunnier. The winds becoming a little bit gentler, maybe. But yeah, thank y'all so much for joining this beautiful morning flight of the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2026 Hot Air Balloon 50 State Tour, all the way until we land in Albuquerque in October. This is your boy, Bayman Gaming. Don't forget to go follow my boy Joe Chip YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see y'all this evening for our evening competition flight, where I guarantee you our balloons are going to be in the big time, baby. Let's go.